You could be having a heart attack right now and not even know it. No chest pain, no dramatic collapse, just a bit of fatigue, maybe some lightheadedness, mild nausea. Sounds harmless, right? But these are some of the most overlooked heart attack symptoms, especially in cases of a silent heart attack, the kind that claims thousands of lives every single day. According to the CDC, over 800,000 people in the U.S. suffer a heart attack every year. But here's what haunts me the most: nearly half of them had no idea they were in danger until it was too late. As a doctor, I've seen countless patients walk into the ER complaining of fatigue, nausea, or even jaw pain. They weren't thinking about their heart. They assumed it was the flu, a stomach bug, or just stress. But their test results told a different story. They had just survived a silent heart attack. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the warning signs of a heart attack that often go unnoticed, what they feel like, how to recognize the subtle symptoms, and most importantly, when to call 911 and possibly save your life or someone you love. When I ask my patients, what did it feel like at the time, the answers are never the same. But every single one gives me chills. One person said, "It felt like someone was squeezing my chest with both hands." Another described it as a heavy rock pressing right in the center of my chest. Someone else like getting punched hard in the chest, and then the pain spread down my arm. That's classic heart attack pain, a deep sense of pressure, tightness, burning, or squeezing, usually right in the center or slightly to the left side of the chest. Many patients also describe pain in the left arm running down to the fingers or up toward the shoulder. Some feel jaw pain, neck pain, or even back pain, a pulling, aching, or sharp electric jolt kind of sensation. But here's the thing: no two heart attacks feel the same. One person might think they're just having heartburn after a heavy meal, that burning sensation in the chest. Another might feel a mild tingling in their left shoulder, and that's it. They go back to their day completely unaware that their heart is slowly dying, cell by cell, from a lack of blood flow. I once had an elderly man drive himself to the hospital because he felt a little chest twinge that morning. By the time he arrived, his heart had suffered irreversible damage. And that's exactly why any strange, unfamiliar, or sudden sensation in your chest, no matter how mild, should never be ignored. It might not be a heart attack. But if it is, what you do in that moment could save the rest of your life. I've seen far too many patients arrive too late, all because of one simple thought. I'm probably just tired. Maybe it's something I ate. It's probably just a few nights of poor sleep. The truth is, not every heart attack starts with chest pain. Many begin quietly, silently disguised as symptoms most people either brush off or misinterpret entirely. Have you ever felt fatigue? An overwhelming tiredness that didn't go away even after rest? Or a wave of lightheadedness when you stood up too fast? Maybe a lingering nausea that lasted all day despite eating normally? Or a sudden cold sweat, trembling hands, and chills while sitting calmly in an air-conditioned room? I still remember an elderly woman who simply told me, "I just feel uneasy, like something bad is about to happen." She had no idea that the feeling of dread was actually anxiety triggered by reduced blood flow to the heart. An early distress signal from the brain, even though there was no obvious reason to feel that way. Especially in older adults and women, heart attack symptoms aren't always the dramatic scenes we see in movies. They often show up as what feels like the flu, a stomach bug, back pain, or even a headache, and get brushed aside. Pain in the back, neck pain, or jaw pain is also frequently mistaken for arthritis, sore muscles, or sinus issues. But the truth is these areas share nerve pathways with the heart. So when the heart sends out an SOS, the brain can misread the signal and send pain somewhere else entirely. What's heartbreaking is this: nearly 1 in 4 people who suffer a heart attack show no typical symptoms. No chest pain, no shortness of breath, no collapsing to the floor. Just a quiet, creeping sense that something's not right. And then everything happens too fast. Don't wait for the heart attack symptoms to become obvious. Because when they finally are, it might already be too late. I once asked an elderly man, "Why didn't you bring your wife to the hospital sooner?" He looked down, his voice heavy with regret. "She never complained about chest pain, doctor. She just said she was tired, and that her back hurt." That answer still haunts me, because it reflects the heartbreaking truth: thousands of women die every year from heart attacks that go unnoticed simply because their symptoms don't look like what we see on TV. In men, heart attack symptoms are often intense and unmistakable. A crushing chest pain shooting down the left arm, and a suffocating sense of pressure, like a rock pressing on the chest. But in women, the signs are often far more subtle. Heart attack symptoms in women might look like persistent fatigue, even without any physical exertion. A dull jaw pain or discomfort in the upper abdomen that feels like indigestion. Back pain between the shoulders, mistaken for muscle strain or mild nausea. Lightheadedness and a strange, unshakable sense that something isn't right. Many women describe their heart attack as nothing more than a slight flu, vague passing and not worth making a fuss about. So they stay quiet, and they endure it, alone. I've seen too many people slip away because their hearts were sending signals, but no one knew how to read them. If you're a woman over 50, or if you live with someone who is your wife, your mother, or your sister, don't ignore the small things. The heart doesn't care whether you're male or female, but its symptoms do. And sometimes that misunderstanding can cost a life. Not every heart attack comes with chest pain, gasping for air, or collapsing to the ground. Some heart attacks strike without warning, without drama, and without any clear signs at all. We call these silent heart attacks. They happen quietly. The person might just feel a little off, maybe a bit nauseous or unusually fatigued, or notice a brief spell of rapid heartbeat. Then it passes. Many people go on with their day, working, cooking dinner, and walking the dog, all while their hearts have just suffered a serious crisis. I once treated a 70-year-old woman who came in because she felt weaker than usual. Her EKG showed signs of heart damage, likely from a heart attack that had occurred weeks earlier. When I asked if she had noticed anything unusual, she said, "I remember feeling my heart race and a little nauseous after dinner, but it went away." She didn't think much of it until it was too late to undo the damage. Silent heart attacks are especially common in older adults, women, and people with diabetes. These groups often have a higher pain threshold, so the body doesn't always send clear distress signals when the heart is in trouble. And what worries me most? Many people only find out they had a heart attack after they've had a second one, and by then it's too late. If you fall into a high-risk group, don't wait for symptoms. Be proactive. Get your heart checked regularly, especially if you ever feel like something's just not right, no matter how minor it seems. Because in medicine, silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it's the calm before the storm. I once asked an elderly man, "Why didn't you call 911 when you started feeling unwell?" He looked a bit embarrassed and replied, "I didn't want to cause a fuss. And I wasn't even sure it was a heart attack doctor." That kind of thinking is far too common and incredibly dangerous. During a heart attack, every minute that passes means more of your heart muscle suffers permanent damage. And if you wait because you're not sure, you could be gambling with your life. So when should you call for help? Call 911 immediately if you experience one or more of the following symptoms: chest pain that lasts more than a few minutes or comes and goes. A heavy pressure in your chest, like someone is sitting on it. Shortness of breath even while resting. Lightheadedness, sudden dizziness, or breaking into a cold sweat. Pain in the left arm. Jaw, neck, or upper back. Unexplained nausea or waves of queasiness. A strange, overwhelming sense of anxiety, like something bad is about to happen. And if you're alone, remember this. Googling "how to survive a heart attack alone" is not a plan. The first and most important thing you must do is call emergency services. Don't drive yourself. Don't wait for family. Don't hope it goes away. Just call, because if you're wrong, maybe you'll just feel a little silly. But if you're right, that call could be what saves your life and brings you safely back to the people who love you. Some hearts grow weaker every day without ever making a sound. No chest pain. No shortness of breath. No dramatic heart attack to signal that something's wrong. Just silence, until the moment it all becomes too much. As a doctor, I often remind my patients, look at your habits and your numbers. Don't wait for pain to start caring about your heart. If you have high blood pressure, elevated LDL cholesterol, or you're living with diabetes, your risk for heart disease is significantly higher, especially if you're physically inactive, smoke, or fall into these age groups. Men over 45 and women after menopause. And don't overlook your family history. If someone in your family had an early heart attack or stroke, your heart needs closer attention, even if you currently feel fine. These factors won't take your life overnight, but slowly and silently they build up plaque, narrow your arteries, and increase the chance of a blood clot, the number one cause of sudden cardiac death. Don't wait for your heart to cry out. If you're in a high-risk group, be proactive. A simple EKG today could mean decades more with the people you love. If there's one thing I hope you remember after watching this video, it's this: a heart attack doesn't always look like the textbooks say it does. Sometimes it's crushing chest pain. Other times, It's just an off day. A little extra fatigue, mild nausea, or a strange ache in your jaw. What does a heart attack feel like? The truth is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But if you've ever felt not quite right without being able to explain why, don't ignore your gut. Please share this video with someone you love, especially if they're at higher risk. Because a small action today could save a life tomorrow.